the cross product of these two vectors, you can actually obtain a third vector which is perpendicular to both. Hello everyone. In this video, we will try to solve problems involving planes in the three-dimensional spaces. For the first problem, you are asked to find the radian measure of the acute angle between two planes. One thing you need to look at are the normal vectors of these two planes. So they are 5, negative 2, 5, 2, 1, and negative 2. So these are just the coefficients of x, y, and z respectively. So now, if these two vectors are not scalar multiple of the other, then that means they are not parallel. As a consequence, these two planes are intersecting. So let's have a visualization for this one. Now, if you graph these planes, this blue plane is actually your first plane. And then this yellow plane is your second plane. Now, since you are asked to find the angle between them, what do you mean by that? Okay, suppose that this is the vector, normal vector of your first plane or yellow plane, and then this is your normal vector of your second plane. Then this is the theta you are looking for. So let us now consider the following solution. First, we let P be this plane. So as you can see from this equation, we can extract the values for the normal vector, which is the coefficient of x as a, the coefficient of y as b, and then the coefficient of z as c. So we have the normal vector to be 5, negative 2, and 5. For the second plane, we let this one to be your q. And similarly, you will have the normal vector to be 2, 1, and negative 2. Tool, in order to solve this one, we need the following formula. We have the cosine of theta, which is equal to the absolute value of the dot product of n1 and n2 divided by the magnitudes. Okay, so now let's calculate the dot product, which is a direct calculation because now we simply substitute these values, and this actually gives us a value which is equal to negative 2. And then for the magnitude of n1, we have the square root of 5 squared plus negative 2 squared and then 5 squared. Simplifying this one gives you square root of 54, which gives you 3 square root of 6. Similarly, for the magnitude of n2, we have these values, and this gives us a value which is equal to 3. Now, this implies cosine theta is equal to this one, the absolute value of negative 2 from the dot product now divided by the values of the magnitude, which gives us this one. Okay, so the simplification of this one is equal to this by rationalizing, multiplying the numerator and denominator by square root of 6. Next is, in order to solve theta, we need to solve the cosine inverse of this value. So that's why we have the cosine inverse of square root of 6 divided by 27, which gives us an approximate value for the radian, which is 1.48 radians. Okay, so that's your theta. So that's how you obtain that one. For our second problem, we have find an equation of the plane parallel to the plane, this plane, and contains the point 2, 6, and negative 1. So you are actually given a plane and a point which is outside this plane. So how did we know that this is outside the plane? So if you substitute this point into this plane, it won't satisfy the equation. So that's why we know that this point is not in this plane. So its illustration should be equal to this. You have a point, and then you also have a plane. The point is outside the plane. So you are looking at another plane which should intersect this point, and it is parallel to that plane. So now what you mean is this black plane. So you are asked to find the equation of this black plane. To solve this problem, we first note that we can use either of this equation. This first one or this one. Okay, so the first one contains a particular point, x0, y0, and z0. So this is any point on your given plane. The second one is actually a much simplified version. However, there is this third variable that is introduced. So these two equations are equivalent. You can obtain this second equation by simplifying the first one and letting d to be your constant, the existing constant. Okay, so in these versions, you can actually take the normal vector a, b, and c. So a, b, c are the coefficients of x, y, and z respectively. Now for this solution, we make use of the equation ax plus by plus cz plus d. So this second equation. Now we first let p to be your plane, first plane, and then let q to be your required plane. Now since p and q are parallel, then their normal vector should be of the same direction. Hence, we can use this particular normal vector. So as we know, normal vector is not unique, but we can take this one since they have the same direction. Now, so this is the value for A, B, and C for the equation of your plane Q. Now, substituting this one on your equation, this actually gives you this form. Now, it remains to solve for this remaining value. So if you solve D, then you have your equation of the Q. So to do this, we make use of the point that is given. So let us substitute 2, 6, negative 1 on the equation of Q. So this gives you a simplification which results to a value of D which is equal to 5. Now, so substituting 5 in this equation, and this gives you the equation of the plane that is required. Okay, now, how about we make use of the first equation? So this is an alternative solution. So since we already have the value for n, we simply make use of the point given. So this serves as your x0, y0, and your z0 since this is a particular point in your plane. Now, substituting this one in your first plane equation, you will have this one. So you have your A, B, and C here, and your x0, y0, and z0. So simplifying this one, combining the parentheses, this gives you this simplification at which you have the constant equal to 5. Okay, so the equation obtained is still the same. So therefore, we have this one. For our third problem, find an equation of the plane perpendicular to this plane. X plus 3y minus z minus 7 equals 0. And such that it contains the points 2, 0, 5 and 0 to negative 1. Okay, so the visualization for this problem is like this. First, let us consider the point 2, 0, 5 and then the point 0 to negative 1. So if we graph the plane, it should look like this. Now, it just so happened that this particular point 0 to negative 1 is inside the plane. But again, the solution for this problem would still hold even if we consider this 0 to negative 1 is not in the plane. So what you're looking for is actually a new plane which is described by this form. It should be perpendicular to this plane, original plane or the given plane, and it should contain these 2 points. Okay, how do we solve this one. To solve this problem, we actually need a particular point in the normal vector. Now, since these points are already given in the required plane, then it remains to find the normal vector. But how to do that? Okay, so the normal vector should be something like this. It should be perpendicular to this plane. Okay, now notice that if you choose a normal vector of this given plane, you can look at something like this, a direction which is something like this. So something like that. Now, since we can freely choose where to put this one, we can actually put this one as your initial point to be this point. So hence we can have N1 to be something like this. Now notice that this point is actually inside your required plane. And by using these points, we can actually obtain another vector, which is this one, that is also inside the plane. Okay, so if you take the cross product of these two vectors, you can actually obtain a third vector which is perpendicular to both. Hence, this new vector, the cross product, is perpendicular to the plane, and we can choose this one as your normal vector. Okay, let's put a calculation for this case. If you want to see more of these problem solving videos, hit subscribe so you don't miss out. First, we let P to be your given plane, and then the given points as A and B respectively. Then we let Q to be your required plane, and by this, we can actually obtain the normal vector for this plane. And then your normal vector for this plane P is equal to 1, 3, and -1. So that's these coefficients. Okay, so now if you create a vector that joins from A to B, then this actually equates to -2, 2, and -6. Okay, now it remains to take the cross product of this normal vector and this vector to obtain a normal vector for your plane Q. So the cross product of the vectors, so equal to this one now. So this is equal to the first component, I times these constants. So reminder how to obtain this one. You can simply, for the first part, you can simply take the rows and columns in line with I, and then the remaining constants are 3, 2, -1, and -6, which is precisely equal to this one. Now, for the second term, you have J. So you must take the negative for this one since it's already found on the second column. And then you may delete all those rows and columns in line with J. So remaining constants are 1, -2, -1, and -6. So which is equal to this one. For K, you take the positive and then remove these terms. Then you have 1, 3, -2, and 2. That's why you have this one. So this is the same with your determinants. You can operate this one by this. Multiply this one and then subtract it by the multiplication of these values. Okay, now this reduces to -16i plus 8j plus 8k. So which is equal to this one. Now, since we already know that when dealing with normal vector, we can simply take a vector that is perpendicular to the plane. So now, we can actually rescale this vector into a smaller parallel vector class. So here we may reduce this one by dividing these components by 8. That's why we may choose -2, 1, and 1. So we can use this one as the normal vector for your Q. So using the given point in the plane Q, which is 2, 0, 5. So this is now your x0, y0 to be 0, and then your z0 as 5. And this normal vector for A, B, and C, we can have this equation of the plane. So simplifying, this gives you 2x minus y minus z plus 1 equals 0. So that's how you obtain the equation of this plane.